And we're coming to you live for the Built Ford Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are on the free Odyssey app, good Friday morning, a feel-good Friday. We do have some winners from last night. The New York Rangers, the biggest one, and I'm waiting to hear what Boomer has to say negatively about the game last night, because after the first game and the dominance that the Rangers had, he was complaining about Keandre Miller's turnover and complaining about Patrick Kane. I don't think he can complain about much this morning after another dominant performance. The Mets, some bad news with Max Scherzer, but they win another game. Their rotation is in shambles, but they continue to win, so that is a feel-good Friday story. The Yankees also win, so they continue to cruise, so that is another feel-good Friday story. And for me, at least, the most feel-good Friday story is we have playoff basketball back at Madison Square Garden tonight. That place is going to be off the charts. That place is going to be rocking. That place is going to be the place to be if you can afford to get in there. And not only that, you got 4 straight Knicks and Rangers playoff games right here in the greatest city in the world, where they rip off the drivers with the speed cameras.
Yes.
Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Good morning. I'm sorry I was back there making coffee because Hal didn't do it. So I was a little bit late. And I have to tell you, I'm feeling pretty good this Friday morning.
Oh, thank God.
I am feeling great this Friday morning.
I was thinking you were going to complain about something.
No, well, the only thing I really have to complain about, if I'm going to get the complaint out of the way,
please,
I will get it out of the way. What the hell was Kreider thinking about at the end of the game, throwing the puck over to Jack Hughes? That's the only thing I can complain about. This game last night, man, this was such a satisfying game. Not because of who the opponent was. It was because of how the team played and who got involved and what needed to happen and what we needed to see as Ranger fans. So first and foremost, again, the power play is great. The penalty kill was great. They got a cheap one at the end there at the end of the first period. Patrick Kane showed up. He said he had more to give, and he gave more last night. And, Tarasenko is on fire. Kreider is on fire. And the most important thing to me watching this game is that Igor didn't have to do a lot. I mean, of course, he had to make a couple saves here and there, but it wasn't like game one. Game one, he was standing on his head. This particular game, from a Rangers perspective, for me, and I was on a number of text threads, I was saying this is the best game they've played all year. This was a dominating performance. There was no space for Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier. They were defending. People were coming back in the zone. They were exiting the zone. They did everything that you could ever ask for. And I have to say, while game one was good and winning 5-1 was great, there were some mistakes here, mistakes there. This game last night was a shutdown game, and their stars showed up, and it was very, very satisfying to say the least. And to be honest with you, Greg, I don't know how to act. I mean, I really don't. I mean, the normal is, and we're going to have, there will be some trepidation. There will be some things we'll have to fight through. But right now, the way this team is skating, the way this team is playing, the way everybody is buying in, the forecheck, the back check, the penalty kill, the goaltender, the scoring from the high-profile players, the power play, I don't know. There's not really one thing that I can come in here this morning with the exception of that Kreider giveaway towards the end of the game. And, of course, Igor's got to make a great save.
Sure.
It's the only thing that I could really bitch about this morning, and I don't want to bitch about that, but I do want to highlight it that I am paying attention, that I know what's going on from start to finish.
Of course.
And it was very, very satisfying to go to bed last night and wake up this morning and put on my Blue Shirts hockey
I was going to say,
sweatshirt.
I mean, that's how confident you are, as big of a Ranger fan as you are. You very rarely put on the gear. You put on the gear to honor a player, whether it's Rod Gilbert. You'll put on the gear at some high moments for the team. So this morning you broke out the Blue Shirts hockey sweatshirt. Now, I can't tell you how to feel about your team because I don't like when people do that to me where they say, oh, you should feel this way about your team. I can't do that. But from my perspective, you have to be completely confident in moving on in this series at this point. And I think it's fair to say that. Now, Ranger fans, if you don't want to touch the money, you don't want to feel too confident, I totally understand. But the way they didn't play a great game in game one, as you pointed out, I thought it was better than you did. They win 5-1. They dominate last night. They win 5-1. All the issues that you talked about in the first game were cleared up in the second game. Patrick Kane, we got phone calls all morning long after game one. Patrick Kane, he's done. He's this, he's that. This is a terrible acquisition. What does he do? Has a really beautiful goal, has a couple assists as well. His best game in a Ranger uniform. You think it's the best game they have played the entire year. So I don't know where it goes from here. I don't want to see people get too far ahead of themselves because of the nature of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but this looks like a team that had unfinished business from last year playing against a team that is learning this for the first time.
Hey, the big thing for us is going to be staying healthy. Right now getting through 2 games the way they did, that's a good sign, but they have to stay healthy. And then, of course, you have all the chippiness late in the game and, Wes McCauley and his lunatics, throwing guys out of the game. And I understand they don't want these things to turn into scrums at the end of the game, but this is part and parcel. You have 10 guys on the ice. You want to count the goalies. You got 12 guys in the ice, and they're slamming into each other for 3 periods, and they're going 100 miles an hour. It's going to get chippy, especially when one of the teams is getting beat the way that the Devils have gotten beaten here the last 2 games. But what I saw about Patrick Kane last night, he finally skated. He skated after the puck to go score his goal, and you can see his hands. I told you his hands are still great.
Yeah,
nobody's doubting that, and his shooting is still very good. The question is that hip going to hold up, and is he going to be able to take the pounding that comes along with an extended stay in the playoffs? And we'll see. I mean, but yesterday was great. Yesterday was great for him, and of course, Kreider. That's our guy, effing Kreider. That's our guy. Yep. And he's been our guy since he's gotten here, and he's playing great, and he's got the tips going now. And the thing about New Jersey, because of all of the firepower that is out there, from Panarin to Zibanejad to Kreider to Kane, to Fox, pucks are coming every which way, and they're moving it. And all I would say to Lindy Ruff, I would not be passive if I were playing against this particular group. Maybe the second group you could be a little bit more passive about when you're playing on a penalty kill, but not against this group. You let them pass it around, they're going to find somebody, and somebody's going to have a shooting lane, and Kreider is being left alone in front of the net. So it's like a pick your poison kind of situation. But, man, I'll tell you what, that was one satisfying, totally enjoyable game to watch, to have my Casamigos with.
Yeah.
I was on a thread with my man Wally Zerbiak, because he loves playoff hockey.
Does he?
And our buddy Lee Einsiedler, right? And, Wally's got his feet kicked up. He's got himself a Casamigos. And I said, I may have to drink this whole bottle again if we don't respond to this power play goal in that first period.
Yeah.
And we definitely responded.
So Wally's actually into playoff hockey.
He is, just like I'm into playoff basketball. And I think, by the way, playoff hockey already has been as chippy as you would expect it to be, and certain teams have had to, come back from deficits like the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. But man, this is exactly what we as hockey fans pay for. This is the kind of intensity that is worth every dollar, every freaking dollar. And when they're playing this way and they're banging and they're just, hitting each other and going after each other, that's why that cup is so hard to win.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to win because you just never know when somebody's going to get hurt or some crazy fluke bounce is going to happen, like what happened in the Islander game the other night. It's crazy. So, and now you got the Islanders. They have their first home playoff game at UBS.
That's
tonight.
right.
And that's going to be nuts too.
Yeah, it should be. I hope it is. It would have been even crazier if they had come back 1-1 and they didn't lose Game 2 in Carolina in very disappointing fashion. But that should be great, and hopefully they can make a series of it. When they
will.
The Nets, they're done. The Knicks, I believe, are going to win tonight. I think they can take control of the series tonight and will.
Man, your boy Spike came into my office this morning and said, Knicks are done.
What?
Yeah, Spike.
Why?
Spike was just
sure he wasn't confusing them with the Nets?
No, he was killing the Knicks. He was just completely killing the Knicks. I was
For
like,
what
wow.
reason?
I know first of all, I believe he's a 76ers fan. But then again, he told me he grew up a Knicks fan.
Well, he did. He grew up a Knicks fan. John Starks was his favorite player, and then living in Philadelphia and starting that podcast all those years ago, the Sixers podcast. I think, the Sixers are the thing in his life when it comes to basketball, but I'm sure he has a soft spot for the Knicks. But why kill the Knicks today?
I don't know. He came into my office this morning. It was just so negative about the Knicks, and I was like, hey, get out of here. I don't need you in here right now. I'm having a good morning, and you had to come in here with this Knick take. I mean, this is...
What was the take?
I was just like, hey, look, man, this is not a podcast. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
He basically thinks they're done. He goes, Cleveland's got much better talent.
Yeah, let's see. I'm getting a... all right, I'm getting a this is ridiculous. That's what I'm getting from Spike right now. He sent a text to me saying that what you're saying isn't true. It's ridiculous.
Oh, no. He came in my office, and he said that the Knicks are done.
Those are verbatim. Knicks are done?
Cleveland's got much better talent, and in the NBA, you got to have talent. And I'm like... the Knicks have talent.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks are by far the tougher group. I mean, I understand that Garland and Mitchell are. I mean, that is the very difficult, talented situation with those two guys. But I don't see a huge talent disparity between. It's not like the Sixers and the Nets.
Hey Al, get the bad vegan in here, and we'll talk to him. And and he'll tell you. And you tell me if I heard what I heard was accurate. I was stunned this morning.
But why would he, on a day where the Rangers win, he knows you well enough by now, why would he come in here with that, that's a Chernoff-esque type of thing to do.
Yeah, it's like wet blanket stuff.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't know what it is. It's hard to even, fathom why, you'd want to, I'm in a great mood. It's a feel-good Friday. I'm in an absolutely great mood.
I mean, he should
Why
know by now.
my program director is going to come in my office and tell me that the Knicks are done and they're over with because Cleveland's got much better talent. And Boomer, in the NBA, it's all about talent. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I was actually stunned. I was shocked. And I could not believe the program director did that to me before I came in here.
Well, he is in here right now I'm presuming, to defend himself.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, you're making it like I stormed into your office and with an anti-Knicks flag telling you that it was over. I came in and congratulated you on the Rangers and said, bet you're feeling good. And then I think asked you about Aaron Rodgers. And then, yes, I did say what you're saying that I said.
Yeah, and that was the last thing you said, and that's what I was left with.
Wait, you said the Knicks are done to him?
I just don't think...
See, I didn't make it up. I did not make it up.
He asked me about the Nets.
Yeah.
And I said, I thought last night was their chance to win a game. Mm-hmm. And then I don't remember how it came up, but I said, I don't think the Knicks have a chance in this series.
Wow.
And there you go. And there's taking the air right out of my
Don't you know him well enough by now to not say something like that to him on the day after a Ranger win? You should know.
I didn't even think it would stick. It's basketball. It's hockey time.
No. It sticks. Trust me.
Listen,
sticks.
You just totally took the air out of a Feel Good Friday.
That was I was a Chernoff-like thing to do.
Well,
by the way,
Chernoff of you.
Yeah.
The older you're getting, the more you're getting like Chernoff. Yeah, I'm telling you.
The running, by the way,
thing, yeah.
I've seen people wear shirts inside out by accident.
And backwards.
I've seen people wear shirts backwards. I've never seen someone wear a shirt inside out and backwards at the same time like you are.
I threw it on. Look, anyone listening should know. I come here in what I slept in, and then I go to the gym, and I come back fully dressed.
Yeah.
So I wasn't planning on working like this, but I did wake up this morning. I just grabbed the shirt. It was next to the bed. I didn't even think about the fact that it was
I know what you were thinking about.
And
you were thinking about, I cannot wait to go to Boomer and tell him
and
that the
crush
Knicks are
the
done.
Knicks.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Spike, do you do a podcast after the Sixers game?
I do.
All right. So that's a late night, and he gets up. He comes in here. He's here, which is great. Yep. And I think because he's tired and a little cranky, and he's like, it's playoff time. There's a lot of Sixers. I got to do all this stuff. He's trying to make us feel as bad as he does.
Well, here's the thing. Look,
and I don't have an anti-Nick bias.
Philadelphia negativity that you have brought here at times.
God.
And, I wake up this morning. I watch Pete Alonso hit another ding-dong.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yep.
He's on fire. The Yankees win. The Mets win. My Rangers absolutely dominate the Devils. And then all I get out of you is like, hey, your Knicks are done.
Well,
what?
See, this is where I think you're painting it with a different brush than I imagine.
You just admitted it.
I did say it, but I didn't just waltz in here and tell you the Knicks were done. It was.
I
it
felt
was
like you
fourth
could
on the
not wait
list.
to tell me.
No.
That's what I felt like.
No.
I felt like, hey, good on the Rangers. Are we getting Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, I'm sticking with the story. Yes, we're getting Aaron Rodgers. Don't worry about all this other nonsense that's out there, Michigosh, as they say. And then, then out of the blue, I did ask you a little bit about the Sixers because I know that's your team. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, boom, you laid into me with the Knicks are done. And, I'm like, the Garden is going to be insane tonight.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if it's going to be more insane tonight or tomorrow night. I think it's equally going to be insane, but I think tonight, look, the Bing Bong Knick fans are going to be out.
What do you think the reaction is going to be when Julius Randle shoots like 5 of 26?
I'd say that now we're getting to the crux of the whole thing.
Will you get out of here already? God.
You see this,
Jeez.
Mr. Negativity? He's all dressed in black and everything. He's got his shirt on inside out and backwards. I mean, what is going on?
I feel really good about my assessment of him, where he's cranky. He has to stay up. He does those podcasts. This series is over, so it's like, who even cares about the Nets and the Sixers? And he wants to make you, on a high, feel worse than you feel. So he had to find the one thing to do it, and the one thing to do it was the Knicks.
No, there's no.
Couldn't do it with the Rangers. He had to go for the Knicks.
There's absolutely no way he is taking me down off of cloud nine today. There's just no way. My team almost played a perfect game last night until effing Kreider gave the puck away right at the end of the game. But, I mean, I'm telling you, I feel very, 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 very confident in my team with the way that they've all bought in. There hasn't been one slouch on this team. We were talking about Patrick Kane, and Patrick Kane also did kind of say that he didn't feel comfortable in game one for whatever reason. But last night, he was much more comfortable. He looked like he belonged. And this Vladdy Tarasenko, man, I'll tell you, he's a bull. He's a bull.
Yeah, I mean, you are as confident as I have heard you in a very long time.
I'm just telling you.
You are as...
And Ranger fans know. That we're not used to feeling like this. They know that. I know that.
Yeah.
And I want to absorb what I witnessed last night. From start to finish, they were all over the Devils. And the Devils are having a hard time with their forecheck, and that's fine. And Kreider's doing exactly what he did last year. And they don't know who to defend on the power play. I mean, who do you defend?
Yeah, well, that is as lethal of a unit as they have been the entire year. And I think the big point that you made earlier, you haven't had to rely on Shesterkin being great, and he will at some point.
Well, he was in game one. Game one, he was great. But
you didn't
last
have to
night,
rely on it.
Right, now, last night, I felt like the defense in front of him, the blocking shots, and Barclay Goodrow's blocking shots again, knowing your role, doing what you're supposed to do. Don't try to do anything that you're incapable of doing. Don't write checks that your body can't cash, all that kind of crap. Play a simple game. Even my man Keandre Miller played a very good game last night. And again, he did not make, every now and again he gets into those offensive modes and thinks that he's a winger. And he make a bad pass here or there. But that wasn't the case last night. He had a really solid game last night.
All right, we've got Peter Schwartz with us this morning. He's all fired up with the Islanders. He's got his sweatshirt on. I've got the Casamigos sweatshirt on because that's what I'm rooting for every day of the week. So we'll get to him and the update coming up in just a couple of minutes. It's Boomer and Gio on a Feel Good Friday on the Fan and CBS Sports Network.